Hello YouTube, Millennium X17 here, and yeah, wow. That's all I can say is wow. Sony just ended, and yeah, wow. That was actually a press conference. So, yeah, they started out with a pre-rendered trailer of some sort. We couldn't really tell what it was, talking about how some humans were setting down on Mars in present day, and then somebody called the Traveler met them there, which looked weird. And then I literally wrote down on here, well, first they were talking about how Mars and Venus now have been colonized and they have cities on them, and Mercury is a garden planet, which is, I'm like, really? Because the last I knew, the Mercury's so close to the sun, it's just a giant desert, but okay. Video game logic, I know. But this Traveler has an enemy called the Darkness, and I'm writing down right now, it seems Halo-ish. And then I'm like, Destiny? But then again, they said they weren't going to be there, and it was true, nobody from Bungie was there. They just sent, footage ahead from it, that's what it was. So, kind of a little sneaky catch that they threw in there, that they weren't going to be there. They weren't going to be there, but footage of the game was there. So, I'm interested for it. Definitely one of the things I am getting for PlayStation 4. Looks pretty damn awesome. So, anyway, moving on. Andrew House comes out, gives a great intro speech talking about how the Destiny beta on PS4 starts July 17th. So, that is definitely really good. July is usually a very dry month, so there's at least something for there. First look alpha for the game starts this Thursday on PlayStation 4. I'd imagine you're going to have to go on the interwebs and figure out where and how to sign up for that. I honestly don't know. He said something about they threw up a website. This entire press conference, Sony was throwing so much information out so quickly that I physically could not write fast enough. And as you can maybe see here, I have chicken scratch for writing. So not only do I have a terribly bad handwriting that I'm not going to be able to read, but I couldn't write it fast enough. It's unbelievable how fast the information was flying during this press conference. After that, they then dropped information about a white PS4 Destiny bundle launching with the game on September 9th. It includes a white PS4, a white DualShock 3, and a copy of Destiny. And really, Sony? I bought the console at launch knowing how hard it would be to get it, and just to show everybody, I have the white Galaxy S5, so yes, I do like white, electronics on it. I think it looks very good. But I already have a PS4, so it kind of hurts me a little on the inside. But, it is what it is. Moving on, I have to move pretty quickly because otherwise this is going to be 30-40 minutes long. They showed up with some footage from the Order 1886. I think it was pre-recorded gameplay. I don't think they actually had any live demos on stage. I think it was all pre-recorded gameplay. Something about they're going through a subway station. This one guy's going through, it's very dark. It almost at first looked like zombies, but then I'm not really so much sure if it was werewolves or zombies or whatever. It sort of mutated and then it talked. I'm not really sure what the monsters are. It looks interesting. For all the people out there that were crying about this game and how it looks horrible, the graphics snobs out there, it's still in development. So why you're crying about a game that's not done yet is beyond me. But, then again, that's just me. Next up was a game called Entwined from the best I could write it down, it was from Carnegie Mellon Tech and San Jose Tech. Some of their technical divisions or classes, I don't know specifically what, but apparently they've developed a game themselves called Entwined. It's this fish and bird are dancing together. It kind of looks like they kind of look like pieces of origami put together. It's very stylized. It reminded me a little bit of Flower. It's somewhat synced to music. It's an interesting, unique game, definitely downloadable, and then they dropped the fact that, oh yeah, by the way, it's available right now for $10 on the PlayStation Network. So yeah, Scott Rhodey came out talking about Infamous Second Son standalone DLC from Sucker Punch. You do not need, it is standalone because you do not need a copy of the game. Though if you do have a copy of Infamous Second Son, you get bonus content in this DLC. It's coming out summer 2014, and it is called Infamous First Light. They showed a pre-rendered trailer of this, and it looks interesting. Again, didn't really explain too much about the story of what the DLC is, but, you know, it looks like it's going to end up playing a lot like Infamous games, so that's good. Then next up was a little bit of a miscue on the board throughout Sony's press conference. There was a couple of times throughout their press conference that, like, the microphones that people were wearing weren't turned on or something, because then, like, you couldn't hear them, and then all of a sudden their volume would come in later on. But also this little error here is they come back to the stage after the pre-rendered trailer for Infamous First Light, and then it just says right on the screen, Little Big Planet 3. Just like that. Media Molecule was there. No, in fact, there was a live demo. Little Big Planet 3 had a live demo on stage on PS4. There's now more depth in the actual universe. Now, Little Big Planet had the like the two-plane thing going on, where it was like there was a front plane and then there was a back plane. Now it looks like there's going to be even more of that going on. It looks interesting. They also added new characters. It happened so fast, I didn't have time to write down the dog thingy's new name. It's a new character that can do wall jumps and what have you. There's also a new character called Toggle that can make himself big or small. When he's big, he weighs a lot. When he's small, he's really, you know, light. Swoop, it's like a little bird thing that can pick up and fly, which I can imagine that's gonna... A couple people might try to break the game with that character, but, you know... The players themselves are actually, like, most of the players that play these live demos, another reason why companies don't like live demos is that they usually practice the demo 100,000 times before they go up on stage and do it. It almost looks like they didn't do that for this one, because the players kept having error, you know, they kept making mistakes throughout playing the game, because Little Big Planet has a weird jumping mechanic that I've seen, in my experience of playing the game, so... You know, there's that, but it added to the comedy of the whole set piece. It was pretty good. They then showed a pre-rendered trailer for the game. It comes out this November 2014, so it was actually pretty good. Shohei Yoshida comes out talking about how, okay, get this, all user-created levels from Little Big Planet 1 and 2 will be available in Little Big Planet 3 right at launch. That's pretty damn awesome. Up next, From Software came out and showed a pre-rendered trailer called Bloodborne. It's really super dark and gritty and lots of gore. What I wrote down is it reminds me a lot of Silent Hill levels of gore. The kind of art style and feeling you get from a Silent Hill video game. So that's what that looks like. It also featured an epic evil dog of doom, which if you saw the trailer that they showed, you know what I'm talking about. So that comes out in 2015. 2015 already halfway into 2014. 2015 looks like it's a stacked year. So there's that. Far Cry 4 came out next. Alexander Hutchinson showed up and said, talked about how the location is called Kyrat, and I don't know if that's a real location or not. It's set in the Himalayas. I'd imagine that it's probably a fictitious location based off maybe like the geography and such of the Himalayan area, so that was good. I'm guessing it was a pre-rendered, a pre-recorded gameplay. I'm thinking there was no indication to show that it was a live demo, but pre-recorded gameplay. There's one of the things that they showed during the demo of this guy was attacking one of those base installations, just like in Far Cry 3, though they seem to be a little bit bigger, and they're slightly different styled, obviously, given the different environment, but also there are elephants. And the reason why I write that down is because the elephants were, like, attacking the people in the camp base anyways. It was just, like, cool and bizarre at the same time. It also has co-op as well. Looks very good, and the big thing that they dropped after the fact was that Adam Boyes comes out, I guess that's how you pronounce his name. He came out and said that you can, if you have a copy of the game and you're running it, you can invite a friend to play co-op even if they don't have a copy of the game. Now, how that works, I honestly don't know, but that's bold. That's really bold. That's really awesome. I'm guessing that's a only on PS4 exclusive thing. So, it's pretty awesome. And Adam Boyes I believe he was the one that was... Yeah, this is the part where they hit the section where he's flying through information so quickly that I cannot possibly write it fast enough to keep up. So he started talking about how they asked for feedback from the fans of PlayStation, that what do you like to see, what improvements could be made, this and everything. A bunch of people, I don't even know how many thousands of letters and emails they got during this campaign, but from the looks of it, they got a lot. He said a theme coming out of these letters is that a lot of people like their zombie games. So, and then he's like, let's go to our friends from Deep Silver to see if we can't satisfy this. And I'm thinking, Deep Silver, that's Dead Island. And there's a nice pre-rendered trailer where this guy is jogging and clueless, totally clueless. And behind him, zombies are attacking and things are blowing up and all things going crazy. And then he's turning into a zombie himself as he's running along. And it's like, I'm like, this is Dead Island too. And yeah, it is. I wasn't expecting it here. And it's just a pre-rendered trailer. There's no gameplay. It's probably a... Yeah, I would imagine it's probably a 2016 game. I'd be willing to bet. We'll see. But, damn... That has definitely got my attention. Probably a playthrough to look forward to from me in the future, because I did do the original Dead Island, so you know how that works. There's apparently a 30-day exclusive beta on the PlayStation 4. No date was said, or there might have been. I might have missed it. There is a 30-day exclusive beta on PS4. That much I did write down. There's also Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition. Apparently it's coming to the PS4. I would guess it's coming to the PS4. The interesting thing, though, is that there's an exclusive dungeon in this edition of Diablo 3 that is filled with monsters from The Last of Us. You know, cross-game promotion. That's pretty damn awesome to see. That is. I don't know, so that'll be pretty cool. They showed a new pre-rendered trailer for Battlefield Hardline. It still needs more work. There's that. They've announced they have a partnership with Disney. They said something about Disney Infinity 2, and they said it so fast I didn't even catch what it was. Destiny has unique items only on PlayStation. Okay. This is still the same guy, Adam Boyes. So, Paradox Interactive comes out with a pre-rendered video. This video was hilarious. It's really super comical video about this mage that's been unemployed for like 1,231 days, and then he's trying to make different stuff from him. He's trying to heat something up with his fire thing, and it blows up him, and he's doing a bunch of other things, polishing his staff, and it's like, what in the what? And it's Magica 2. And then, I don't know if this is also part of the name of the game, but it's Magica 2, and then below that they said, learn to spell again. I don't know if that is or not. They showed a little bit of pre-rendered, pre-recorded gameplay at the end of this little live-action video thing, and it looks interesting enough. Double Fine. One of the... and of course, it's Tim Schafer, so one of the letters they came up was from this... First it was a 12-year-old, and then it was a 10-year-old named Sally or something like that. And then all of a sudden they zoom back around the picture, and it's actually Tim Schafer holding up the letter. It was quite funny. Something that made a lot of people in the audience very happy. Grim Fandango is coming to the PlayStation 4. Now that is awesome. Everybody speaks very highly of it. I've never played it. But now that it's coming to PS4, I probably will now. So simply just because everybody keeps talking, every time I hear a reference of adventure games from the 90s, that one always comes back up. So next up was Devolver Digital, and they showed off a bunch of games from Devolver Digital. It's called, first one I get, and again, the logos for these games came by so fast, I might have miswrote some of the names of them. Broforce was the first one. The next one I thought was Titan Stone at first, but it's not. It's Titan Souls. Next one is Not a Hero. Hotline Miami, Wrong Number. And then the last one they showed was called the Talos, and there was something else after that. I'm not sure if it was the Talos Legends or something along those lines. I honestly, I couldn't write it fast enough. I was barely keeping up as it was. After that, they had a pre-rendered video on from Suda51, a game that is coming to PS4 in 2015. Looks brutal as hell. No real word as to what this game, the type, is going to be, but it's called Let It Die. I don't know if it's a fighting game, if it's a survival horror game of some sort, but it looks quite brutal. As his games are usually crazy and wonky and over the top, this one looks especially as such. Giant Squid came out next. I'm guessing they said it was a new studio, and that some of the people that make up this new studio came from the people that made Journey. That's the one. I've had very strong opinions on Journey, so I already have a bad feeling as to how people are going to feel about this game. They had a pre-rendered trailer of it. It looks kind of Finding Nemo-ish. It was following this scuba diver as he was swimming around the ocean, looking at different things, almost getting his leg bitten off by a shark. It's interesting. It's called Abzu. No, again, they're the ones that made Journey. It's okay for it to be what it is, but from what I saw, it looks like it's another one of those games that leaves the players up to interpret what it means. And as such, I don't feel that that's a game. But then again, it's not even out yet, so I shouldn't even be passing judgment on it. I'm already saying that if it doesn't have gameplay, it can't be Game of the Year. Just saying. But we'll wait to see what it is when it comes out. Next up was... they said it was a new IP, and they didn't say who it was or what it was at first. It was this... pre-rendered trailer starts playing, and it's on this alien planet of some sort, and it has some like just eye-piercingly bright colors going on, and it is like, you know, like, what is this? And it's like I'm almost thinking that it's Pokemon Snap-ish, and the fact that the heads-up visor is looking at different animals, and it's like, oh, new species discovered, and it takes a picture, and then it keeps going, and then all of a sudden you jump in this almost like Star Wars X-Fighter-ish thing, and then Dark God said that it kind of looks Star Fox-ish at this point in time. And you start flying through this universe, start seeing different planets, shooting different enemy ships, and then you go to another planet. And it's like, what is this? It doesn't, you know, it looked pretty damn interesting. It's from a new studio called Hello Games, and it's called No Man's Sky. Very ambitious indie title. Yeah. It is it's along the same theoretical programmed mindset that is Minecraft, in that your universe that you spawn into is generated randomly and infinitely. As the further you go out, the more that is generated, and what is created before you is totally random. No two-player experiences will be the same. That is going to be a hot thing to see on YouTube. I'd imagine that what I might do is going to be totally different from what other people might do. That game is going to be on my radar in a big way. So, moving on. Andrew House now comes back up. A couple more talking bits. He's talking about the PlayStation 4 camera and how that it adds value to the system, and that he was very specific to mention that it was an option. They made it an option. You know, that's kind of a small jab to Microsoft and, you know, making the Kinect mandatory. But they said that they're going to enhance the value even more for the camera, and that it works, and I'm guessing from the way he's talking that it's necessary for Project Morpheus, which apparently there are 2 new demos for Project Morpheus, which is in Sony's booth at E3. Again, I'm very interested to see how they implement Project Morpheus. Sean Layden, President and CEO of Sony, comes out here, and he's talking about how he's been to all E3s except for the very first one, and that it's the first time on stage, and wow, there's a lot of people here. It was pretty funny. He handled it well, though. He's talking about how the interactivity with the PlayStation, the share button's been pushed so many times. He said 95% of all PlayStation 4s have been connected to the PlayStation Network, which that's actually a very impressive stat. So they also announced that later this year, YouTube will be coming to the PlayStation 4, and that you can actually hit that share button and publish videos straight to YouTube. Don't know how much user control that will have, but, you know, we'll see. He talked about Playrooms getting some free DLC. There's also 25 free-to-play games are coming to the PlayStation 4 in the next 12 months. So that's pretty cool. PlayStation Now, the open beta, after tweaking in the closed beta, the open beta will be starting July 31st on the PlayStation 4. Vita, if I could speak, that would be good. Vita and PS3 will start shortly thereafter. And also, PlayStation Now is also going to be available on, like they've said before, on Sony's smart TVs. 100 games will be available on PlayStation Now at launch of the open beta. So there's that. Yada yada. PlayStation Now on PlayStation Vita as well with remote play. It adds value to the Vita. They say that the Vita is very important to their focus going forward, which is very good for all those people who have bought it. It's definitely a very expensive handheld, albeit a very, very good handheld. It's definitely the best one that I've seen. It just doesn't have the same kind of support that the DS does, or the 3DS. But that's going to change because they said that there's over 100 Vita titles in development right now, including Minecraft on Vita, and that's the console version. You know, because apparently Minecraft needs to be on everything. You know, it's something, you know. Then they dropped something that really shocked a lot of people. Basically in North America, they are launching the PlayStation TV. Yeah, that little box, the tiny little compact box thing, they only launched in Japan, and everybody immediately thought, well, the US is never going to get that. Yeah, it's coming out in North America. That is shocking. It is, given how many things are on the PlayStation Network and other games and the such on the network, that device will have over 1,000 games at launch, which is impressive. The PS TV will be launching in North America and the United States for $99 US. Also, for $139 US, there will be a bundle with a DualShock 3, 8 gig memory card, the PlayStation TV, obviously, and Lego the movie, the video game, I think is what it's called. But yeah, that's and believe it or not, it's not over yet. So they then had some pre-recorded gameplay of Mortal Kombat 10 or Mortal Kombat X, whichever one it is. I've still yet to get any clarification on that. I think it's Mortal Kombat 10. I'm guessing. Anyway, it looks very good. It's very brutal, as Mortal Kombat usually is. Andrew House comes back up talking more about the instant applications such as Netflix, Hulu, and the such. And then he also said that given also their connection with Sony Pictures Entertainment, they're utilizing that as well. They talked about, I believe last year they mentioned how they're going to have exclusive programming for the PlayStation crowd. Well, we've got Brian Michael Bendis came out. He's the executive producer for a new show called Powers. It is based on a comic book graphic novel of the same name. His speech goes on for far too long. Casting is underway. They showed some concept art. It comes out in the US in December. PSN users get the first episode for free, and then Andrew House comes back on talking about PlayStation Plus, and then he starts with how subscribers of PlayStation Plus get every episode of Powers for free. Yeah. So I was mediocrely interested in it, and now that I'll be getting it for free, I'll probably slot it into my list of, I'll check that out eventually. Kind of like my backlog of games. You know how that works. Ratchet & Clank is getting a movie, apparently. I didn't even know this. They didn't say what development studio. I'd imagine Sony Pictures? I don't know. It looks kind of DreamWorks they try to do the Pixar thing. Well, that's what it kind of looks like to me. It comes out summer 2015. Insomniac is involved directly with the movie, and also apparently the first Ratchet and Clank game is coming out to PS4 as well. So more games from the the early eras are coming up to PS4, which is quite impressive actually. So Naughty Dog, they had a pre-rendered trailer for The Last of Us on PlayStation 4. It is coming out, and it even looks like this version is also including the prequel DLC that came out for the PS3. It is all coming in one package for the PS4. So what it appeared like from the pre-rendered trailer. That's coming July 29th, 2014. So that's pretty good. Andrew House then also showed all new pre-rendered trailer for Kojima Productions' Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. It looks very good, but most pre-rendered trailers do anyways. Given that it's a Kojima thing, it'll probably have some weird, nonsensical story, but that's the way Metal Gear's always been. Then another pretty big shock. I don't know if this qualifies as the shocking announcement that I wanted, but I was definite, and nobody was expecting this one at all. But Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming to the PlayStation 4. They showed a pre-rendered trailer of in-game footage that was recorded only on the PlayStation 4. So yeah, that's coming this fall 2014. And then the thing that really, I think, the bombshell of the day, not only is GTA 5 coming to the PlayStation 4, but then they said that your PlayStation 3 and your Xbox 360 game saves and progress from GTA 5 will be transferring forward to Grand Theft Auto 5 in and on the PS4. But holy shit, how are they getting game saves and progress data off a 360 save to the PS? That is astonishing. It has to be a Rockstar server deal that holds that progress and game information thing, that they're able to do that. That is astonishing. I cannot believe they're doing that. That is really cool, because same thing with The Last of Us. I like to play some games, I like to play over and over again, but there's certain games like Grand Theft Auto 5 that you get so far into the game you don't really want to start over again, even though you kind of do, but starting over from scratch is kind of annoying. Now your game save data is moving forward, and then there's also exclusive missions and content for the PS4 version. Okay. We're not done yet. Rocksteady showed up with a new pre-recorded gameplay. Pre-recorded gameplay of Batman Arkham Knight. A little side note that I put to this is that it looks as though that Batman probably costs the city financially in damages probably as much as he saves the city. That's just maybe just me as an observation, but we'll go with it. Everything that they showed for this looks sick. I'm never really into Batman myself, but this game looks sick. The Batmobile, the way it works, the way it was driving, the way the weapons work, it just looked sick. The flying, him flying with his cape looks sick, which I guess I don't know if that's so much flying as it's gliding. I don't know, but it looks sick. There's exclusive content on the PlayStation side of it, similar to, say Watch Dogs type deal, where there's extra missions and what have you. And another little observation I had as well from Rocksteady, definitely props to them. Most game characters and objects in the world look shiny when they try to make things wet. This actually didn't look shiny. It looked like some water had actually rained down his cape, which is a nice touch. So Andrew House comes back out, gets a great stinger in against EA, talking about how that Batman game looks like that has more smoke than EA, than EA's conference. Or I don't forget exactly how he mentioned. I don't think he said the EA's conference, or I forget how he words it exactly, but it's really funny. But and then he says that there's one more game And then Naughty Dog's logo shows up on screen, and of course, everybody goes nuts. And it is Uncharted 4. A Thief's End is what it's called. It is a pre-render trailer. That game, the pre-render trailer is short. It looks sick. But, you know, it is that. Then they showed an ending montage, and then Sony ended their press conference. The ending montage was basically all the games they'd shown up to that point throughout the conference. Sony killed it. That's the end of their conference. That conference was really good. It had punch, which is what pretty much every other conference today was missing. I guess I'll give them a light bombshell with the GTA 5 announcement, but maybe not a shocking bombshell. But it had the punch that everyone else's conference was missing. So, that's my impressions video of Sony conference, E3 2014. And until next time, guys, have yourselves a good day.